Yoshito, very good to speak to you today. So in the wake of the scandal surrounding Carlos Ghosn and his flight from Japan, how much damage has this done to the image of Japanese corporate culture globally, do you think?
Well, I cannot talk about what is the image of Japanese corporate culture and governance towards globally, but what is true is that Japanese citizens were quite surprised and quite infuriated about the fact that he has escaped from the bail and from the court system in Japan.
And does this have, will this bring about any changes? I mean, is it just going to be the criminal justice system that is being scrutinized in Japan as a result of Carlos Ghosn's flight, or will there be other changes afoot in Japan then, domestically?
In terms of court system and also justice system in Japan, there are debates being started about what to do about the actual bail system, and at the same time what we should do in terms of the accompanying lawyers to the meetings and hearings with the prosecutors. And that kind of positive discussions are being going on. At the same time, the discussion should be based more about the fact that he has escaped from the bail system. And I think we need to divide the two issues. One is about the escape of Carlos Ghosn, which is criminal act, and the other one is about a court system and also Japanese judicial system, which has to be amended.
And so you would like to see some change?
Yes, we like to see the changes.
And Yoshito, let me ask you a little bit about your investments at this point, your venture capital business. Of course, one of the key investors, you were in Mercari, one of the first Japanese startups to reach unicorn status. So which of your investments that you hold at the moment do you feel as excited about? Which will deliver Mercari-sized results for you?
One company is called Smart News, which is operating in the US, which provide the online Smart News, which is a news portal application, apps on portal and also on smartphones, which is also exciting because the White House election is coming up, and the news in the US is quite divided into left and right. But Smart News provide the actual edition of the newses. Therefore, there is no division in terms of left and right. So this is a very neutral applications. And that's one thing. The other one is called BIZREACH, which is also the recruitment service in Japan. Both of them have become unicorn in Japan.
So you're very excited about both of those, Yoshito. Let me ask you about the infrastructure and the backdrop that creates unicorns, that creates success from Japanese startups. There seems to have been a lot of investment in infrastructure and some investment in other areas to create the climate for creating new startups, and yet there is this impression that maybe not enough new unicorns are being created. What more needs to be done?
Well, if you compare with China and the US and Japan, the size of the economy is smaller. Therefore, the number of unicorns are fewer. However, if you look at the climate and infrastructure of startups in Japan, it has totally been changed in the last 25 years when we started venture capital. Now we have more capital available, and mindset of startup companies have become changed. The quality of deals have become better, and IPO markets are better. And therefore, in terms of the mindset of a younger generation, my son goes to Tokyo University studying at AI, and then his colleagues and himself have no intention to work for big corporations. They all want to be startups or working as a CTO. So therefore, we can see that new startups are coming up. It's becoming more like a Stanford University. Tokyo University is more like a Stanford University. And Tokyo is becoming more like a Silicon Valley in terms of startups.